Hey everyone. Um, Back in Los Angeles now, and over my stay in Seattle, got a comment on an old video, and the topic of the video was why do I hate everything? And the comment that I got was I figured that much. How to fix it? So this video is for you, Clint8U. That's your username. So the basic premise that I put out in the video, why do I hate everything, is because it's very likely that you are fed up with how things are. You're very near the end of your wit and you just have like one straw until your figurative camel's back breaks. And basically, so many things have happened that's just unfair and not reasonable. And it seems like you have been dealt a bad hand over and over and over, and you're just really nearly done, right? Okay, so sure, you figured out that that's what's happening. So how do you stop hating everything? How do you fix it? Well, this is where we need to really sit and think about the actual problem here. It's easy to think that the actual problem is all the things that happened to me in the past. So I didn't get the job that I wanted. I didn't get into the school that I wanted. My parents treated me badly, and I was bullied in school, and I didn't have the opportunity to, make a lot of friendships. I had to move schools, and the test that was really important to me, I failed. So these are all things that we keep tabs on in our life. The guy that I don't like got promoted over me. I wasn't selected for this thing, but and so on and so forth. So when these unfair things, when these bad things, when these objectively negative things that make us become at this weak position, we are systematically abused by the world so that we become victims. If we corner ourselves into this reality where everything that's happened to us is objectively bad, then how can we not hate everything? So, this is a very important question for systemic issues like racism in the United States and um, employment and gender disputes in Korea and the labor market in some other countries. So in society, we do live in a world where actual structure, actual structural problems make us the minority, make us the weak ones, right? And so, in order to resolve this, what usually ends up happening, like a revolt, a lot of that has been happening recently, these, across the world, right? We uprise and we fight and we strengthen our voices so that we are heard by the people who are the majority, right? Okay, so that's one way of going about it. Becoming, powerful with your voice and actually overcoming the, structural problems so that the rest of your life doesn't have to be spent like this. While that is definitely a great approach, right? It doesn't really do anything to amend the past. So going forward, you will live life in a more fair way. Going forward, you are going to experience life in a more balanced and you're gonna experience more positive sides. But really, what can we do about the things that happened to us? We can't go and rewrite the events that we already happened, right? If we didn't win the lottery, we dream about it, but we can't exactly travel back in time and may modify the lottery number so that we win the lottery, right? And even if that were the case, that ideally means that all lottery winners have to be theoretically all happy, but that's not the case, right? A lot of lottery winners go back to exactly where they were because they're not used to that level of wealth. So, it's one thing to be future facing, but we do need a way to address the past, right? Otherwise, we're always going to be victims of the things that happened in the past. Yes, living in the present is important. Yes, being future oriented is important. But how can you do so when you are so consumed by the past? And that invites us to inquire. In that case, then why? Why do we get so invested? Why do we get so caught up in the past? Because we blame our present on the past. So every time we look in the mirror, all we see is the ramification. All we see is the consequence of all the negative things that happened in the past. So we're living a continuation of the past. So if we don't have a way of redefining our relationship with the past, then effectively there's no way to escape this. So, Clint 8U, how to fix it? How do we fix this? We fix this by correctly understanding our past. What is there to correctly understand? We have to correctly understand that everything is up to perspective. And I am not saying this to give you like I'm not saying this when I know that reality is actually bad, but I'm trying to convince you that, hey, if you look this a certain way, it's not that bad. That's not what I'm referring to. That's just lying. That's just kind of like compromising with yourself. This is what a lot of people do when they reframe. They consciously reframe. So they are able to look at the past and they're like, I guess I could look at it from a perspective that's not too bad. But this already is predicated upon, but it's still actually really bad. So what we have to do is fundamentally reassess the past and actually answer for ourselves. Is this thing that happened to me in the past, is it actually bad? Is it unilaterally bad? Is it 100% absolutely, undeniably, unconditionally, and timelessly a bad experience that warrants suffering? So that if somebody else was in my shoe, I could guarantee, regardless of whether that experience is in 2021 or 1982 or 1875, if someone was in that exact situation, are they doomed to suffering? Or is it me that's taking it that way? You have to be able to earnestly tell yourself, oh, it might be that I took this badly, but the situation itself doesn't inherently have any goodness or badness to it. It's just my perspective. It's just the life experiences that I had. It's just the parenting that I got. It's the culture that I live in. These things influenced my mind so that I take this situation as a negative. But when I look at this situation by itself, it doesn't seem to have any negative qualities. You have to be able to see this in earnestness. If there is a shred of disbelief about, no, it's actually still really bad, then we have to be able to reason with it. We have to be able to continue to inquire. Okay, so let's break it down. Is this actually bad? Like, this can never be good. We have to be able to constantly test our belief, because if there is a reason to suffer, how can you not? And if there is a reason to suffer, then all the things that I say in this YouTube channel are just lies. And all of the Buddha's teachings are a lie. So, You could be the one that discovers that it was all a lie. Or you could perhaps see that, if I look at this outside of my consumed view, yes, it actually is different when I step outside of my perspective. And that is the long answer on how to fix hating everything.